Welcome back to the Dividend Diplomats YouTube channel, everyone. Got Lanny, Bert, the Dividend Diplomats. Guys, we are so freaking close to crossing 10,000 subscribers.
Yes, we are, Bert. But there's one thing left for you guys to do. Smash that subscribe button. Give Bert, the Herd, and Lanny a nice thumbs up. Bert, we're here to look at your August dividend stock watch list today. I know the community can't wait to dig in, and I know you're excited to talk about it.
I am, because let me tell you, everybody, have you noticed that we have not put out a dividend stock purchases videos recently in the last couple of weeks? It's been a little quiet here. Why? Because it is very hard to find an undervalued dividend stock to buy outside of our regular weekly purchases, where mine's Johnson & Johnson's and Lanny is Vanguard's high yield dividend ETF VYM.
You know, it's really hard because the last 5 days, here ending August 13th, yes, Friday was the 13th, and it was another doozy of a week.
Yeah, you would think on Friday the 13th the market would get a little spooked and drop down. They missed the memo there.
Yeah, I mean, the S&P 500 is so close now to 4,500. Another up week for the S&P 500, the stock market. Very hard to find dividend stocks to buy right now, as he reiterated. But, you know, Bert, you put together 3 dividend stocks potentially to buy right now that are on your stock watch list.
That's right, Lanny. And 2 of the companies we already own, so it would allow us to just buy a few shares, keep building our positions in companies we already own, which is what I really like to do, especially in this rising stock market versus going all in and building a new $2,000, $3,000 position. But I threw in a 3rd stock that's worth considering and keeping an eye on to see if the price falls and just see if it gets a little bit lower. Could that company be one of the new additions to my portfolio?
You know, and in fact, you know, my wife and I, we actually own all 3 companies that Bert here is showcasing. Let's get into it. We have 3 dividend stocks to cover right now. You know, 3 different industries. We're talking tech, communications, and consumer goods.
Yeah, exactly, Lanny.
Tomato, and whatever you want to call it.
Maybe a bowl of cereal.
Maybe a bowl of shut the f up.
All right, it's definitely not a bowl of that. We everybody, but we're going to keep going. We're going to use the 3 metrics of the dividend stock screener. First, P ratio less than the S&P 500. 2, payout ratio less than 60%. 3, history of increasing dividends. Oh yeah, what's that? A bonus metric we have slated in here, where we look at the dividend yield for each of the companies.
So we're going to look at the 3 companies, run them through the stock metrics. Bert, how do you want to do this? Do you want to do a metric across the board on each company?
You know what, Rhett? Let's try that. Let's just preview the 3 companies, do each metric. Let's change it up, because we usually talk about each one of the 3 companies at a time. Let's see who the 3 companies are, and then yeah, let's just do each metric. Why not? Let's change it up here. So Lanny, these 3 companies, you own them. You own them all. I own 2 of them again, to reiterate.
Gotta catch them all, Pokemon.
Yeah, let's rip through them. It's Blastoise, Charizard, and Venusaur. Kidding. It's Intel, ticker symbol INTC.
Verizon Communications, ticker symbol V to the Z.
And the new one, General Mills, ticker symbol GIS. GIS, yeah. Let's get into this and start talking about these dividend stocks. No, that run really didn't make sense, so I'm sorry. That was a terrible joke. All right.
I gotta make videos with this guy.
P ratios for each one of them. Prices as of Friday the 13th. Intel, they closed at $53.49. Forward earnings, $4.62, a PE ratio of 11.58.
And we have Verizon Communications. They closed at $55.87. Verizon stock still has stayed below $56. The 5G communication dominant player. They have a forward earnings of $5.12, so that price to earnings is still below 11 at 10.9.
Yeah, we actually picked up 4 shares from my wife at the tail end of this week on Friday the 13th, because yeah, I was doing the research yesterday in advance for recording this video, and you can see Verizon's still showing strong signs of undervaluation. Your elbows don't faze me. I'm not going anywhere. Kidding. 3rd company, General Mills, price $59.84, EPS $3.73, a PE ratio of just over 60.
Not bad at all. Wow. So overall, you know, Intel a tad over 11, Verizon a tad below 11. General Mills only at 16.
Yeah, all well below the broader market, which trades at about 25-ish for forward earnings, I say, and their historical earnings are right now at 35x. So hey, all showing signs of undervaluation. Metric 2, payout ratio. Let's dive right in. Intel pays a $1.39 dividend. Divide that by the earnings, a payout ratio of 30.09%.
Verizon pays a current dividend of $2.51 per year. Taking that over the $5.12 of analyst expectations on their earnings, you're ended up with a nice, perfect dividend payout ratio of 49%.
The General Mills, let's see, they have pretty lofty expectations to follow here. A tough act to follow, I should say. That is what I meant to say. $2.04 dividend, divide that by the forward earnings, that gives you a payout ratio of 54.69%. Another stock with a perfect payout ratio.
So all three stocks have a payout ratio below 60%, which is what we'd like to see, because that shows that these companies not only can reinvest back in the business, but the safety is there in the dividend, and they have room to grow that dividend going forward.
That's right, Lanny. So we're going to go into the third metric here, the dividend growth history, where we're going to look at the 5-year average dividend growth rate and how long each one of these companies has been increasing its dividend. Let's start with Intel. Their 5-year average dividend growth rate is 6.14%, so above inflation here, which is what we like to see. They've increased that dividend for 6 consecutive years.
Verizon is on a path to try to replace AT&T. AT&T is about to be off the pedestal, baby, once they change up that dividend after the Warner Media Discovery deal closes. But Verizon's dividend streak is at 14 consecutive years of increasing the dividend. However, the average growth rate is only 2.12%.
Yeah, that's in line with the communications sector, which doesn't have high dividend growth.
That's in line with the increase in price of rising crust pizzas at Aldi.
That's fair. Let's look at General Mills. Their 5-year average dividend growth rate is 2.34%. They've only increased their dividend for 1 year. Several years ago, General Mills didn't have. They had a few issues.
Took on some debt, baby.
Yes, they did take on some debt.
Don't beat around the bush.
I'm not fine. They stopped raising their dividend because they took out debt and they wanted to clean up their balance sheet. So they finally announced increasing their dividend once again. So they're back 24 years away from becoming a dividend aristocrat, which is a company that increases its dividend for 25 consecutive years.
Yeah, General Mills bought the pet food company, took on some debt, had to clean out some debt. Now they're back to trailblazing that dividend.
Yeah, so let's look here at the bonus metric, that dividend yield.
The yield, all about the yield.
Intel's, we are not all about the yield. That's
It's
why it's
all
the
about
bonus
the
metric.
yield.
We make sure it passes the first 3, and then we look at the yield. Is that right, Lanny?
That is 100% right, brother.
Intel's dividend yield is 2.60%. What about Verizon?
Verizon is just hanging out at a nice solid yield of 4.49%. There's not too many yields that you can get over 4%. It's a dividend growth stock in this higher priced market.
Well, it's definitely going to beat General Mills here, whose dividend yield is 3.41%.
Pretty good for consumer goods.
Yeah, I'll take it right now.
You'll take it.
I will take it.
You will take that to the bank.
Yeah, but so let's take a look here. Let's just look at their performance quickly. Year to date, Intel's stock price is up over 7%. 52 weeks, they're up 9%, trailing the broader market. What about Verizon?
Verizon, real performer here. I say that in quotes because Verizon is actually down 5% year to date, and they're down about 5% over the last 52 weeks.
Jinkies indeed.
Right here.
General Mills is up 1.37%, down 5.42% over 52 weeks.
We got some losers on this watch list.
Yeah, we got some dogs here.
I'm kidding.
But we are value investors from a dividend growth perspective, as we always hunt for those undervalued dividend stocks, as the name suggests. So, with that in mind, let's take a quick run through of these 3 companies once again. Intel, P ratio 11.5, payout 30%, 5-year growth rate 6%, increase that dividend for 6 years, the yield of 2.6%. Take us through Verizon.
So Verizon, again, the price to earnings is below 11 at 10.9 forward earnings. The payout ratio is perfect at 49%. Dividend streak of going on 15 years, and an average dividend growth rate of just over 2%, with the current yield that pretty much is 3 times the S&P 500 at about 4.5%.
In General Mills, 16 PE ratio, 55% payout ratio, a 1-year dividend increase streak, and that had a 5-year average of 2.34%, but the yield's at least 3.4%.
Bert, the community wants to know, I want to know, you're looking at these 3 dividend stocks, looking for a stock to buy because you have cash on the sidelines. Cash is getting probably nothing right now on your account.
0.5%.
0.5%. So Bert, looking at these 3 stocks, you own Intel, you own Verizon, don't own General Mills. What you gonna do, brother?
Well, let's first start with General Mills. I came in trying to find a new stock to add to my portfolio and say it's going to take a lot for me to want to build a new position over time. I do like Cheerios. My daughter likes Cheerios, but right now I do not want Cheerios in my portfolio. But General Mills, for me to buy General Mills, I want to see that price fall. If we get a PE ratio that's below 15 a little bit, then I'll feel much more inclined to start a position in the company.
You want it below 15. So you're looking at a nice $4 correction.
Yeah, that's a good point there. Then I'll start considering it once again. But right now, in my mind, Intel and Verizon are two companies. I'm going into next week thinking if I'm going to buy 2, 3, 4, 5 shares of a stock, it's going to be one of those two.
You could almost do 250, buy 3 shares of one, 2 shares of the other.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just liking their metrics. I want to keep building our positions in them. And I think at the current price, with the yield growth rates for each one of them, the combinations, I'm liking them there. So small purchases for me, nothing major for those two stocks.
You know, I've been a big believer in Verizon and what they're doing on 5G. I love them under $56 per share. I'm going to keep them on my watch list because they've been on there for a while. Intel comes off and on. Great stock. You don't have to go all in now. You can buy a few shares. Great company. They're going to turn it around with the supply chain.
Yeah, so everyone let us know what stock you're watching this week. What dividend stocks are you looking to add to your portfolio? Thoughts on Intel, Verizon, General Mills, and let me know if you agree with my conclusions on this or if you think I'm wrong on all three. I'd love to hear it. Put them in the comments.
Let us know what you guys are buying. What's an actual dividend growth stock that's really undervalued? We want to know. If you haven't already, definitely give this video a like, subscribe to our channel as we're marching towards that 10,000 subscriber video. It'll be pretty funny. You might get Macho Bert, you might get Hulk Lanny, you might get Stone Cold Bert.
You get Macho Bert every video.
Every video you do. Again, this was Bert and Lanny from the Dividend Diplomats.
Over and out.